I was talking a little bit about semantics and the science and the art of using language in a very specific way and chaining these concepts together. It's kind of like one of my models for this particular type of influence is there's a very famous novel written by a German author. And the English translation of the title is The Glass Bead Game. And the entire book is about this very high-level intellectual exercise where they play a very elaborate game of chaining concept to concept to concept from widely dissimilar sources, but putting together one beautiful arc. Okay? Now, in our lives, we call this narrative, story, and context. Those of you who have come to the advanced class or the master's class know that I spend a lot of time on a storytelling module because the ability to tell an effective story is basically the delivery package. It's the virus we use to get the meaning inside people's heads and to give it to them in a way that they recognize it, they do not reject it. So it's like it looks like native instead of foreign, and they begin to incorporate it in everything else. Because as we've covered in the basic class, we know that once you learn a particular concept, and no matter how localized you make the lesson, your busy little mind is immediately going to start generalizing, going, what are all the different ways I could use this in all these different contexts? So in this module, we're going to be talking about how do you construct narrative? Okay, narrative is the overarching principle. It's kind of like the meta map of where you're going. Story is the delivery vehicle, right? And as you may have noticed, I love to tell stories. It has become impossible to prevent me from telling stories. It's how I communicate. I'll be talking about anything, and I launch off into a story. Now, my friends and family think it's real hilarious because they see me doing it all the time. When I'm working with individuals, they do not see what I am doing. They do not see the manipulation, which is another word, semantics, right? They do not see the technique. They don't even see the most likely outcome, why they're caught up in the story. When you take narrative, turn it into story, and then you add in context, which is what Timothy Leary used to refer to as set and setting. The mindset that you bring into it, as well as the setting, everything that's all around you, the context. Well, I'll show you how you can use context to derive or reinforce a particular message. I'll also show you how to use context to lead your subject without explicit prompting to take the specific experience, the specific lesson or learning that you have taught to them, that you've shared with them, and how to automatically just have that unfold, unpack, blossom, and spread out all through your subject's life. So what once was a brand new idea that you just kind of slipped in when they weren't questioning it, suddenly becomes as obvious as air, right? Nobody wakes up in the morning and goes, wow, I am grateful there's air, okay? Or the old Bill Cosby joke, why is there air? It's like, well, to blow up basketballs or footballs. I mean, it's like you're always looking for something. Fish do not recognize water. This is what I'm talking about, is context is invisible, but it does exist, it can be identified, and it can be manipulated in such a way to either reinforce what you're doing or to do the heavy lifting itself. And what that means is you can give suggestions and commands, you can give examples, have trance experiences that go this far, and then they have that aha moment, and because of the context, they take it, and it literally becomes their own idea, and they're kind of wondering, like, well, why are you talking about it? It's obvious, and it wasn't even real half hour ago, okay? Narrative, story, context, the delivery vehicles, the viruses we use to get to those ideas, those sensations, those concepts into your subject's experience and have it seem not only natural, but obvious.